So what those two circumstances have in common? Obviously, there were two individuals in there that are using the crowd to make themselves feel like they've won an argument by shouting louder and by chanting. Obviously, in the Raspect video, they're calling me Fuddle, which means a prick. And then in the Jedi one, he was using the chant to get everyone to chant, Raj doesn't care about the truth. I don't care about your truth. Yeah, my truth is different. And the thing is that these two individuals, both Jedi and Raspect, I learned around, when was it, in January or whatever, that they don't like me. Fair enough. And I kept my distance. I was like, yeah, move away from them. Because there were two individuals that I did respect. They are intelligent guys, whatever anyone says. I can't take that away from them. I don't like their message a lot of the time, but you can't say they're not intelligent. But quickly learned that I don't like those guys, and they don't like me. And so my kind of respect for them got there all the way to zero. And right now, I really don't like them. They're definitely in the top 10% of people I really dislike. And the reason is because of that is because they're massive hypocrites. And that's one thing I find difficult to kind of deal with. Where people think they're high and mighty, think they're better than everybody else, think they're right all the time, and think that, you know, the sun shines out their ass. But in reality, they are just as bad as me. You know, I can admit my faults. I have a lot of issues myself, but they can't admit their faults. Now, when it comes to Raspect, for me, he hates white people. Yeah, but he's telling me I hate Muslims. And with Jedi, it seems to be that, you know, I don't even think he believes in some of the stuff he says. He just says it to kind of win an argument or try and kind of go with the crowd. So with that particular situation there, I had to walk off because he was telling me that the best way to tackle it is to deal with the vulnerability of the girls. Fair enough, that's a good way to tackle it. That is a valid point. But it's not the top point. The top point is to get the rapist and to deal with them, their mindset. Then you sort the police, or the police need to take these things into account. And you deal with the family and the girls and stuff like that and their vulnerability. But the way this particular conversation went was, it was just blaming the girls and blaming the Sikh community and saying that I'm not doing nothing in terms of trying to sort this problem out. Now, the thing is that with these guys, I haven't approached them for months and months. I don't even say hello, but for some reason they can't keep their mouth out of, keep my name out of their mouth. There's been videos of Raspect talking about me left, right and centre on live streams, and when I go on there chatting about me. And then there's one video of Jedi, obviously, saying he's not going to talk about me, but he's talking about me. And even both of these two occasions, they both come over to me and join the conversation that I didn't go up to them, they come up to me and started the conversation. I don't really want to communicate with these guys, especially when they're in big groups. And I'm going to say something, the reason why I don't want to communicate with these guys in big groups is because they use the group to make themselves think that they've won. And so they'll use the group mentality. Most of those people in that group are either savages, gremlins, or just complete morons, yeah, and they haven't got a brain cell between them. So they'll just chant and cheer and whoop and, oh, Jedi's won, Raspect's won, and that makes them feel better that they think they've won. You haven't won. I'm gonna say something. Let's have a one-on-one debate, yeah, or a conversation, whatever you want. If COE agrees, COE, and we will walk away from the hustle and bustle of that speaker's corner bit and go into a more discreet area, and let's see how you lot fare. when there's just me and yourself, just one person and one person with no crowd for you to kind of get that energy from. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the conversation and the debate or wherever it's going to go is going to go. It's not going to go your way. Yeah, or if it doesn't go your way, it's going to be much more balanced than what you think it's going to than it is there. So there's a lot of things that happened on Sunday that really annoyed me, and the reason I had to walk off, if you look here on the video, I had to actually walk off at the end where I at the what is it, the 46 mark, because the level of like there's times when I feel I'm going to lose my temper, I walk off because I don't want to say something I regret.
What is it in the 1 second, bro? Why are you running? He knows why he's running. Why are you running? What is it? Why are you running? Raj, why are you running? What is it in the Sikh culture, Raj? Why is Raj running? Raj, why are you running? What?
So it's not what is it in the Muslim culture that is causing mental rape, but he's asking what it is in the Sikh culture that girls are vulnerable. Now, one of the things about Sikh culture that Islamic culture doesn't have is that women have much more freedom. So when women have freedom, there is a chance that they're going to be more open to predators, because we allow them to go out and get educated and work and do things that maybe in the Muslim community their girls are much more tightly controlled. And obviously we agree with kind of like women's rights and stuff. And so a lot of girls as well are not, I know of cases, I'm going to even say my own cousin's case, the girl was not from a bad family. She was from a really, really good family, religious family. The girl wasn't going around kind of like doing X, Y, Z. She was just very unconfident. And girls that are unconfident, and especially if they're pretty, can be easily manipulated by one of these kind of what we call groomers, these rapists, who then see that vulnerability in terms of the way they think they look, not their family situation. And that happens a lot. So when a girl thinks she's ugly, and then a guy comes and says, oh, you're beautiful and you're this and that, that can be a way of getting to that girl. That doesn't mean that the family was at fault or the Sikh culture. So the way he's kind of trying to belittle Sikh culture is, to me, totally disrespectful. Whatever I say about Sikhs, I think our particular way of living is a very balanced way of living, allowing women to have rights, men to have rights, and not to be too what I call kind of oppressive. And so that really, really annoyed me, which is why I had to walk off. And then you have a situation where, like, I mean, some of the stuff he was coming out with, man. I mean, certain people can just, like, I'm not even sure like why he was saying it, because he knows nothing about me, like zero. Like, I don't even talk to him. He knows nothing about me, but he's making all these judgment calls about what I have done. Now, if you look at this bit here where he says,
statistics are still going up. This guy's trying to tell me a picture's going to stop rape. And it's not happening. Did I say it's going to stop rape? He's trying to tell me every avenue. He asked Raj, he asked zero.
See, you hear that? He said, I'm doing nothing. I'm doing zero. Really? How do you know what I'm doing? You know nothing about me. Yeah, you know nothing about what I'm doing or what I've gone through or what my family have gone through to deal with this. And so it's so disrespectful to say that. And people are whooping and cheering again like complete savages, like they normally do. And one of the things was, he's saying I'm not doing nothing. And I mentioned something that was obviously something that I feel is my strongest point, which is my artwork. Everybody has their strength, and you play to that strength. And one of the things I can do that not many other people can do is to create artwork from my imagination that depicts a particular social issue, whether that be with depression, as you can see, whether that be with free speech, and even with let's see, animal cruelty. Alright, sorry about that. So animal cruelty and stuff like that. As you can see, there's a pig being slaughtered in the eye. So I have a way of doing my way of educating people about grooming. And yes, these are the perpetrators. As you can see, we do not have white people attacking Sikh girls. Yeah, I'm talking. This is a very Sikh-centric drawing, and these are the guys that are trying to save the girls, our community, and this is the girl that is the girls that are vulnerable. And this particular drawing, yeah, he's mocking and going. I mean, have a listen to this. How they mock art, my drawings, yeah, and have a look. If you go 4803.
Say something really to the viewers. You've heard it today. Raja said to stop rape and to stop child grooming. Drop it. That worked for Ralph Harris, didn't it? Get your moving two pencils and get drawing. You need to stop it. Defense of Raj, he didn't actually.
See that? Mocking, yeah? Mocking. Not even like he's saying to stop rape, oh, draw. Mocking. And they're all laughing, oh, Tony Hart, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff, yeah? Absolute bullshit. And then you have a situation where, where is it? Yeah, so you have a situation that they're mocking my particular contribution, yeah? And now you may think it's a joke, you may think it's funny, you may think, oh, it's nothing, but I'm getting these drawings into places that, you know, are getting to audience members that other mediums couldn't. Like, this is at a one of the biggest Sikh festivals during Vaisakhi, during the most busiest time of the year. Look what drawing's up. Yeah, and I spoke to a lot of people about this drawing. Here it is again. Yeah, this is not even anywhere just normal. This is Houses of Parliament. This particular picture is from House of Parliament. If you have a look, the drawing's there. No one said it was Islamophobic. Everyone thought it was an amazing message. Yeah. So I've got it to places where you know, most people couldn't even dream of. And then you're gonna say, you know, oh, what else do you do with it? This is the magazine, yeah, that it's used for, and it's called CQ UK, the annual magazine. This is distributed around the whole of the UK to young girls. So this particular drawing resonates in a way that it was used on the front cover, and you can see here, people are holding the magazine here, and they give them out to within the temples. As you can see, little kids are going over and picking up the magazines. Now, then we have the situation of like, oh, well, you made all the guys look like this, or what I call like this, yeah? That's the perpetrators. Now, let me show you a picture of just a selection of people that were convicted, and tell me if you think they look like anyone. Have a look. Have a look. Yeah, these are from grooming gangs. Just a small selection. Obviously, you'll have some Sikhs in there somewhere, and you may have a few Hindu or so, but they'll be in line with the population. Doesn't make it any better, but it doesn't make it right. But it is definitely no way out of proportion like the way these guys are. Yeah, totally out of proportion. 85% of the convictions, when they only make up the Muslim community, only makes up Asian Muslim community, only makes around 3% of the population. And then he's saying, oh, what are Sikhs doing to combat this? They've got to tackle the groomers, I mean, the vulnerability. Look at this. This is CQ UK, going around the whole of the UK from Scotland to Southampton in 7 days. Yeah? Giving talks and lectures. This is Mohan Singh. Once again, giving lectures all around the UK. Going on the, you know, RBC, BBC, all of these kind of places. And then I'm doing my bit in my particular way. Yeah, that's by going to, obviously, going to Speaker's Corner, which is one, doing videos that I do here. And then obviously you also have me doing exhibitions. So this is the actual video of Parliament. And as you can see, I've got my drawings here. So they were having a meeting about Sikh affairs. And this is a government body. And as you can see here, what's coming up? Well, a bit forward there. So here it is. Here's the drawing here, right in Parliament. No one complained. No one said it was a thing. And all of these drawings are about depression as well. So art can resonate in a way that, you know, very few mediums can. And I'm going to say something. I mean, I'm just like sick and tired of other communities like you know, like black community or this community or that community, telling us, oh, what's the big deal? If it happened to your particular community, yeah, your specific community, you would be absolutely up in arms doing what I'm doing, yeah. And so it is an absolute kind of like joke, because when you're talking about issues within their community, you know, they'll go on all day about it. No one go. I mean, you know, they're going on all day about their own specific issues within the black community, and no one's telling them. I'm not saying to them they can't talk about it. I'm talking about an issue within my community, and I've got to tackle that first before I can even go on to the other stuff, because it's affecting family members of mine, and you know, people that I know that is ruining lives. Now, one of the things that, you know, obviously, that, you know, I said they're hypocrites, and one of them is, if you look at this particular part here, 41. Now, listen to this.
And I own them from my artwork. I'm not saying that's secure. So let me say something. Only pointing at one group. Yeah, so this is what you can't compare it with music. Like, you're gonna get. This is what I do.
You cannot compare it with music. Let me say something to you, Jedi. Music, art, film, poetry, and all of these kind of things, in my eyes, are all equal. They have a different way of portraying a message. So yes, I can compare it to music. Yeah, don't say that my form of art is less than yours, because it's not. I've never belittled music. I think music is a beautiful thing that if done, you can resonate and send out messages and do things, and you know, with music, it's incredible. And you could do that with art as well. So to tell me that, oh, art isn't can't compare to music, really? Seriously? Seriously? Art can't compare to music? You know, it's just the kind of like hypocrisy is like on another level. And so, you know, it goes on, and you see here.
This is what I do. I go to Sikh events and I exhibit that artwork and I talk to girls, yeah, and
Can I say
so art can do something, yeah.
Can I just say? No, I mean,
Punjab.
India. No, India. What about India?
We are talking about what's going on here right now. Yeah? What's going on here right now?
So you can see, like, they're kind of like with the artwork and stuff. They're not taking it seriously in a way, and they're just trying to kind of like belittle my particular contribution. Whether you think it's a big, I've never said it stops rape or grooming. I said it educates. There's a difference. So if you can't understand that, that's not my issue. Let's have a look. All right. So number one is, yeah. And so if you go to the number 44 mark, I'll leave a link below anyway, and you can have a look at the video fully.
The number one issue in the Sikh community is vulnerable children, because the sexual assaulters, the grooming gangs, not the groomers, the grooming gangs, the groomers, yeah, the groomers go for vulnerable children. Yeah, that's what they go for. The groomers, once again, the groomers go for vulnerable children. All right, once again, valid point. They go for vulnerable children, but to then, on this particular incident situation, just concentrate on that and not condemn and say, look, the number one thing to tackle is the rapist, and then, yeah, you have things that are obviously just are important, but below that, yeah, and one of them is obviously to educate girls about the issues. Now, you know, if you look at these particular, the amount of stuff, I mean, Morrison giving a lecture, yeah. Yeah, so he's giving a thingy. You have here CQ3K giving
that's been peaked for
a
about
lecture.
40 years in Birmingham.
Yeah.
You might be surprised, huh?
Yeah. A movie that has been made. About grooming.
walk towards it.
Why?
Because I said so.
You wanted to meet me in this exact...
See, so you have all these different means of people that are doing this. Now, like I said, you have me going around exhibiting, and then when people ask me about a drawing, or I see somebody like a young girl that I think might be somebody that might be vulnerable, I don't know, I just make my assumptions, and then I will show them the drawing and I will talk about it, but I won't be too in your face. So this is me exhibiting again, like I said. And if you look, what is here? The drawings, all out in the open. And most people that saw this, no, everyone that saw this drawing loved it. No one was saying, oh, it's an Islamophobic drawing, or why the perpetrators looking like that. Everyone knew that the perpetrators were these guys. Everybody. Not one person said to me, why did you do them looking like that? Once again, another exhibition that I did in a Sikh thingy. What's the first drawing? Look. Yeah? Can you see? Then you have me on the biggest Sikh channel in the world. Sikh channel, yeah, the biggest Sikh channel. And what am I talking about?
Yeah, so this one, I apologise if it's a little bit shiny because I had to spray it last night.
What am I talking about? And look what's on there. What am I talking about? I'm talking about grooming. So for you to say I don't do nothing is a completely slanderous, disingenuous. For me, it's disrespectful, not just to me, to the victims, to my cousin, to my family. Because the thing is, I've done a lot and I've sacrificed a lot as well that I will not speak about. But the thing is, I'm trying my best to raise awareness about a situation that is affecting my community, the Sikh community, yeah, directly for 40 years. And we're sick and tired of it. We're sick and tired of people like you going around trying to kind of, well, I would say, I'm going to say something. I think what you said that day was scapegoating the Sikh community and the girls. And letting the perpetrators, who are the majority of them from a Muslim background, feel better about themselves. Now, I have gone on the Sikh channel. I've spoken about this, and I've been on there, and obviously, like I said before, Sikh Youth UK deals with a lot of cases. They've got like around 95 cases on the go.
Positive feedback that we do check out.
Yeah, what's this?
Do check out this year's annual magazine. It will be available throughout Visaki and also...
Yeah. And whose drawing is on there? Mine. Now, these drawings are all done for free. I don't charge. I don't ask for money. I don't say, I've got no kind of ulterior motive on there apart from educating people within my community about these particular issues. Now, people, go, oh, why do you keep going on about it, blah, blah, blah. I will, and I won't stop. I'm going to try and be more focused because I've realised that I'm talking to the brain dead, and I need to be much, much, much more careful about who I talk to now. If you look at this guy's a hero, one of my, a good mate of mine, one of the very few people that I've still in contact with after 25 years. And this guy had to go to prison for defending Sikh girls. He also defended... he actually... Look, I'm going to say something. What makes me sick, yeah, and what makes me really angry is people say to me, oh, they, the Muslim and the Pakistani people, they're all your brothers, they're all brown. They expect me to just automatically have an affinity with these people. This particular group, yeah, has been very schizophrenic with me. I've been attacked 4 times during my lifetime, and all times have been from people from a Muslim background. I've had my turban knocked off purposely, not even in a fight. It was literally a guy come up behind me and he whacked my turban off, and that was done by a Muslim guy. My family's been attacked in terms of the grooming, and that was all my Muslim guys. On top of that, this guy here, when I was around 18, I was at college, at Eastham College, and Hizbut Tahir, which was also with Majid Nawaz in there, was terrorising Sikhs at the college because we opened a Sikh society. And it was people like this guy, yeah, this guy here, that came to the college from Sher Punjab, a group called Sher Punjab, Lions of Punjab, big up Sher Punjab, and they came down to the college and they used to escort us and allowed us to do our meetings, yeah, because they used to come in and try and intimidate and stuff like that. And so without these particular people from the Sikh community kind of mobilizing and creating the group Share Punjab, we wouldn't have been able to kind of function within that college without getting our heads kicked in every single day. So I want to say to kind of like Raspect and Jedi that your particular viewpoint of the world, yeah, is different from mine. The Sikhs and Hindus have had you know, you may hate the white race for enslaving and subjugating your people, and I can understand that. I can understand why you're angry. I'm not sure about, you know, continuously bashing them, but we have also had our own genocide and our own oppression, and it wasn't just from the white man. It was one of the biggest genocides in human history for 800 years was from the Islamic conquest of India, lasted 800 years. Then you have bad blood, which is also from what I call you know, like through partition, where 1 million people died. About, you know, Sikhs, when we come to the UK, we've had problems with the grooming and things like that, with you know, our community feeling like they're under attack from the Muslim community when it comes to them targeting our girls specifically. Remember, a lot of grooming cases isn't about just vulnerable girls. We've had girls that, you know, that were religious and they were going to a Sikh festival, and guys would come up with like bangles on, pretending to be Sikh, saying they're Sikh, and manipulating them because we speak the same language. It's hard sometimes, we look the same. It's hard to differentiate. You know, it's very easy for them to do, especially if they haven't got a turban on, and a lot of Sikhs don't wear turbans. So this is how they grab the girls, and once they've got them, they would have the girls would have either fallen in love with them, and then would have this kind of Stockholm syndrome, and then they would just kind of ply them with drugs and drinks and stuff, and they start prostituting them. Or the other situation would be that, you know, they might have had compromising pictures of the girl, and they will use that as a way to blackmail the girl into doing X, Y, Z because of the honor culture within our community. Now, like I said, I'm going to be saying this to Jedi. Let's chat if you want to chat one-on-one without your crowd, because I do say that you lot play to the crowd. You're not I've not ever seen you lot really not play to the crowd. You try and get them on your side, and you use that energy to make yourself feel like you've won an argument or a debate. I would like to have a conversation or a debate away from that and address two things. You've made some serious allegations about, you know, the Sikh community need to sort out the girls, and it's mainly that's the big problem. Another thing I'd love to talk to you about is, why do you think music is more important than drawings? You know, why is it that your particular form of art is more important than my form of art? Let's discuss that, you know, because I don't have a supremacy thinking that, you know, art is better than music. I think they're on the same level field. And to Raspect, if you want to have a chat as well, one-on-one, without your baying crowd of savages that are normally around, yeah, we can talk, and we can talk about colonialism, and maybe even about the Tommy Robinson and all that kind of stuff, that and the fact that you're going around calling everyone Uncle Tom. Even though, you know, most of us are just free thinkers, so anybody that doesn't agree with you are Uncle Toms, and I'm sick and tired of that kind of narrative. It's very, very old, and getting tired. People are sick and tired of people just being the victim all day, and blaming everybody else for your ills. So let's see what we can do. I mean, I'm going to say one thing though. When I go back to Speaker's Corner, I'm not going to be going towards these people, because, do you know why? Because if they're within a group, there's no point. I've realised that now. When they're within a group, there's no point. You cannot even speak. You know, people are talking over you. You just cannot get your word out with these guys. So if I get surrounded like that by Jedi and Raspect again, what I'm going to just do is walk. Because do you know why I'm going to walk? Because it's pointless talking. I might as well, like, you know, bash my head against a brick wall for 15 hours. What I'll do, if you want to go with COE in a more discreet place, and just have 1 or 2 people there and we have it more of a controlled, I'm up for that. Am I calling you out? I don't know if I'm calling you out. You decide. If you want to have a chat and you really want to see whether your views are right without the crowd kind of reinforcing that, because a lot of time people think they're right because the crowd is cheering and jeering, and you know, we know from history that just because the masses agree with you doesn't mean you're right. Anyway, I'm just going to be off then, and like I said, I'm going to keep on fighting the battle. I don't care what Jedi and Respect think in that particular sense, but I do think that they need to be challenged in the sense that they think they're right all the time, and they think that everybody else is an Uncle Tom or whatever if they're critiquing any kind of minorities. If a minority is committing crimes on like an industrial scale, out of sync with their population, there's a massive problem. You cannot deny that. So I will be exposing the grooming gangs and the perpetrators for as long as I can. And if people don't like that, that's not my problem. Anyway, I'm off. Bye.